Welcome to the 42nd Annual Senior Volunteer Hall of Fame ceremony. Thank you all for taking the time to join us today as we celebrate our Chesterfield County senior volunteers. My name is Rachel Ramirez, and I am the co-chair of the Chesterfield County Senior Volunteer Hall of Fame Committee with Alexa Van Artrick. And I'm also the executive director of the Lifelong Learning Institute in Chesterfield. It is my honor to welcome you to the Senior Volunteer Hall of Fame ceremony and reception, or as I like to call it, celebration, today. Let me hear you if you are thrilled to be together today. We would like to specifically welcome our community leaders, this year's nominees and nominators, past inductees, family and friends of our honored guests, as well as everyone from our community who has joined us here today. Thank you all for prioritizing this important event on this beautiful day. As we begin our program, I invite you to make yourself comfortable and prepare to smile a lot. I don't know if you know, but these are your Zygomatics Kiss Majors, and you might want to go ahead and warm them up by smiling a little to the left, right? You do not want to pull a muscle today, so safety first, get prepared. The video recording of the event today is being live streamed on the county's Facebook page. And in case you'd like to send someone a text real quick so they can tune in from near or far. Thank you so much to Chesterfield County Department of Constituents and Media Services for their support. And as you see on your printed program and on the screen, we have a lot to look forward to today. I would like to invite the chair of the Chesterfield County Board of Supervisors and the Dale District Supervisor, James Holland, to share a few welcoming words.
Thank you, Mrs. Ramirez. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jim Holland, Chair of the Chesterfield County Board of Supervisors, and it's a great pleasure to be here with you this afternoon to honor and celebrate Chesterfield seniors who have demonstrated exceptional service to our community. Thank you. Before I move on, it's incumbent upon me to recognize other supervisors who have joined us today. They're probably one of your supervisors. I'm going to ask them to stand so you can see them from across the room as I introduce them. The Vice Chair, Mark Miller of the Midlothian District. This is your supervisor, probably. In addition, there's Jim Engel of the Bermuda District. And there's Jessica Snyder of the Clover Hill District. Thank you all for joining us today. It's so very important that we are here with you because you are. And it's good to see friends in the audience. I'm waving at you already. I can see you there. Volunteerism reminds us of the interconnectedness in our relationships with one another. A great American, Dr. Martin Luther King, once put it this way, and I love the way he said it. He said, all men, and I will paraphrase, all people are caught up in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. We are. God bless you for being here, for being a part of that. So we take the time out of our busy lives, as you have done, to offer help to others in need. We are creating a brighter and more compassionate future. I hope that your service has brought you joy, just as I'm sure it has brought joy to those you have served and helped along the way. You know, as we age, and you let me know if you don't, we collect stories, wisdom, we hope too, and lessons that are invaluable to the younger generation. You have much to share, as you can see. Because of your life experiences, you are able to connect and oftentimes guide with compassion and understanding. This is what makes seniors excellent volunteers and also so important mentors. Thank you for your service. Many organizations will be hard-pressed to function without senior volunteers such as you. Local governments, nonprofits, and other organizations rely heavily on your goodwill to meet the demand for services and to execute projects and events successfully. So I just want to thank you as we celebrate this month as well. I'm going to say it here as I was told. I should say this at every event I am. As we celebrate 275 years here in Chesterfield County. I'm just clap for that. Now, I might also ask, as I share with my little friend from Tennessee, to make sure he gets some of that Chesterfield Honey Bear ice cream before he leaves, and maybe even take some to his grandma and pa and everyone else there. So it's my pleasure on behalf of the entire Board of Supervisors and a grateful community. I want each of you to know how much we appreciate and respect the work that you do. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Holland. At this time, I am pleased to introduce Reverend Don Benninghove, who is the owner and CEO of Companion Extraordinaire, who will be providing our invocation and performing the national anthem. Reverend Benninghove.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars o'er the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Let us pray. Our most gracious, wonderful, wonderful Father, we thank you for this day to come together and celebrate those who have given so much. Your word says to render tribute to those who are due tribute and honor to whom honor is due. So today, O God, we honor those who have sojourned well. May their latter days be greater than their former days, and may you continue to bless the work of their hands. In your great Son's name, Jesus, amen.
Thank you, Reverend Benninghove. What a beautiful performance to honor our great country. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to introduce our next speaker. Dr. James Worsley was appointed Deputy County Administrator for Human Services in Chesterfield County in October 2020. Prior to being appointed deputy, he served as Director of Chesterfield County Department of Parks and Recreation. Dr. Worsley.
Thank you, Rachel. Well, good afternoon to everyone. Let's do better than that. You come from a celebration today, did you not? Good afternoon, everyone. All right. Now we've gotten this good celebration started, so let's continue on. I remember being here last year, not this location, but at a different location, and it was great to see the attendees and the nominees come out again on this year. And the last time we were here, it was 41 years. This is my understanding, 42 years since we've been doing this celebration. So I thought to myself, oh, what fun would it be? Wonder what we were doing 42 years ago, and that would have been around, what, 1982? Well, I probably was around 4 years old, and the national gas price was probably around $1.22. A gallon of milk was about $1.17, and the famous movie, if you all remember E.T., Phone Home, absolutely one of my favorite movies. I remember my parents taking me to see that. And that was the most popular movie during that time. And can you believe, and watching Chesterfield County has grown so much to the fabulous volunteers that we have today. Back then, we had about 152 residents, and look at us today, and all of the fabulous volunteers that we have, which in all honesty, in 2016, drew my family and I from Georgia to come and join the population here because of all the great things that we have as amenities here in Chesterfield. So I'm pouting about that today as we go forward. So when I think about the importance of volunteerism to Chesterfield County, this particular thing that I found in 1982 really stood out because it still holds true today. In 1982, the New York Times ran an article called "The Changing Role of Volunteers." And so, as you can see, the volunteerism is just as important 42 years ago as it is today, even more so today, right? I remember seeing several of you a couple of weeks ago over at the county complex because the county, Chesterfield County, and our wonderful Board of Supervisors, and of course our administrator, Dr. Casey, who has joined us as well today, find it fitting to make sure that we honor our volunteers in Chesterfield County. So how do we do that? Well, we have some fabulous people that work behind the scenes, and these ideas are generated to our administrator and other leaders in our county, put together a walk of fame. And so our volunteers back on Wednesday, May 8th, had the opportunity to come out. Yes, their names are on these bricks, just like we have for our employees that have served 25 years or better, receive a brick, and they have a walk of fame to our volunteers, and we had that celebration then. So that's one reason you can find that volunteerism is important, not just to me, but to all of us in Chesterfield County. Why? Because of the evidence that you've seen. Specific to the Office of Aging and Disability Resources, 35 individuals volunteered with 1,050 hours since July 23. Overall, regarding Chesterfield County in FY23, there were 105,770 volunteer hours reported, and that is a value, folks, that we had to come up with that kind of money. We couldn't do it, but because of volunteers, that is over $3.3 million if we put a price tag on that. That deserves a clap for all of you. And I told Mr. Engel to time me, so I'm going to be very brief, and I'll kind of close with this. He's probably back there timing me. Volunteers are pillars in our community, and their attributes are often woven into all aspects of Chesterfield County. Therefore, making what we call home here in Chesterfield County a first choice community. Thank you.
That was 90 seconds, right? Thank you for joining us today and for those insights, Dr. Worsley. How interesting. At first, I thought you said 152 residents, then someone corrected me, 152,000 residents in 1982. That's so interesting. Now I would like to introduce my co-chair, Alexa Van Artrick. Alexa has been the manager of Aging and Disability Resources with Chesterfield County since November 2021. Prior to this role, Alexa worked for VCU Gerontology for 5 years in long-term care, continuing education, and research. Alexa has a master's degree in gerontology and holds a Virginia Assisted Living Administrator license. Alexa?
Thanks so much, Rachel. I am honored to be in this position that allows me to help celebrate and elevate senior volunteers. This year, there are 12 nominations for the Senior Volunteer Hall of Fame that have collectively served nearly 26,000 hours since turning the age of 60. Their volunteerism is displayed in so many forms around our region and in the diverse roles they play in our communities. From among these exceptional individuals, 3 are being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Thank you to the selection panel who graciously gave their time to the difficult process of selecting these 3 inductees. I would like to now introduce our keynote speaker. Debbie Johnston has been recognized as an Entrepreneur of Richmond, Philanthropist of the Year, and Woman on the Move. She is a highly esteemed entrepreneur, healthcare expert, business guru, nonprofit expert, and Virginia's adoption champion. Debbie is the founder of Care Advantage, Inc. and Virginia's nonprofit organization for adoption awareness, Connecting Hearts. Debbie's newest business includes Serenity First Hospice, which provides expert and innovative hospice care in the heart of Richmond, Virginia, and is rapidly growing since its start in February of 2021. Debbie is an accomplished author with her latest book entitled The Hospice Handbook, Nurse Debbie's Compassionate Guide to Navigating End-of-Life Care. Debbie Johnston empowers patients, families, and other caregivers with the tools they need to navigate the complicated world of hospice care. Debbie speaks from personal experiences, life struggles, great achievements, and industry knowledge to provide heartwarming, inspirational, and eye-opening messages that will leave you feeling empowered, renewed, and energized. Please help me welcome Debbie Johnston.
Thank you so much. I want to do a special thanks for whoever created this wonderful event to hallmark volunteers, because volunteers are the heartbeat of so many organizations. I know Serenity First, we have volunteers that sit with patients, a couple that work in the office. Their efforts, what they do every day, make such a difference. So can we just jack up the room a little bit? I want to tell you that you volunteers rock. Give each other a big hand, because I just think you're rock stars. Okay, now let me walk you down my path a little bit. I learned early in life about community and how to help community. I grew up in a family of 8. We lived in a tiny house, by the way. There were 5 girls and 1 boy, and parents that shared 1 bathroom. So it was like a large tent. Very meager beginnings, but a house filled with love. Right around the corner from where I lived the U-Crops. And every year I would attend their vacation Bible school. And at the end of the week, they had this huge picnic. And they had a huge lake with boats and swimming. And you could eat all the hot dogs and ice cream that you wanted. And when you came from a family of 8, that wasn't always the case, so I was elated. I got to eat so much ice cream. And I said to myself, and at this point they had 1 store, I want to grow up and I want to be just like them. Because look what they have. They have all the ice cream that you can eat. I learned a lot from them, and that's kind of where my dream was born. They were my model to look at. And through the years, I studied them, I watched them, I observed them. And by the way, they're such nice people. I'm sure most people know them, but they're lovely people. They were involved in everything. Walks, just nonprofits, they supported people. They supported disabled people and gave them jobs when no one else would. They were just a rock star company. And I wanted to be like them. And I learned that it just seemed like they gave away a lot. And they were tithers. They tithed 20%, not 10%. Important to note, because I like tithing myself. And just supported so many causes. With that lesson, I wanted to apply their model to my first company, Care Advantage. We walked, we talked, we held our purse out, we held our hands out, we asked for money for everything. Breast cancer, ALS, MS, Alzheimer's, just everything that came up, we volunteered to be a part of it. And it just seemed like the more time we put into it, and the more we donated, the more we tithed, the more we did, the better we got. So I started sitting back thinking, I can actually go out and buy my own ice cream, which I did. And we got bigger and better. And I feel like I owe a lot to it, to watching the U-Crops, because they were wonderful mentors. And they don't even have a clue that they're having this effect on me and my family, but it was just kind of cool. And my company got bigger and bigger, helping out. And I really do think that when we're down and out, and we all go through times that that's the case, the best thing to do is get up and help somebody else walk down a road. Get out of yourself, get out of your problems, get into somebody else, give them a hand up, and life changes, because it really does. And whatever you're going through, there's always somebody that needs some help. Take adoption. I was adopted at the age of 3. And my parents made me feel very special, very chosen. And I just wanted to help other people have that, what I got. And so for 4 years, I volunteered with Terry McAuliffe to be the adoption champion. And we got so many kids adopted. I figured out how to attract parents, and it was on TV. I made good friends with the media, and I would let the kids get on the TV and tell their story, and the parents showed up. Sometimes 10,000 parents would show up for one child. And I'd had social services call me going, cut it off, we have enough parents for Michael. Okay. But I really enjoyed that role. I met lots of people that were like me, had the passion for adoption. And again, it was just feeling connected to other people that had and shared the same passion. So just want to tell you that that really helped me a lot. Just like my hospice, my dad started declining, and it was really hard to watch. And I became one of his caregivers. I'd spent every minute that I could spend with him up to the very end, because I knew the minutes would run out. And we lost Dad and my sister 6 weeks later, so it was a big hole in my soul. I watched him go through the hospice experience, and I loved what they did. They didn't do a little bit, they did a lot. He got music therapy, and he created his own CD, which is one of my greatest treasures in life. And I decided that I wanted to do that work. I wanted to build a hospice. I wanted to give patients what I saw my dad getting. And we do get a lot out of what we do every day. You know, it's sad, but to be that close when people are that vulnerable, I can't even put into words what it's like. You make lifetime friends doing that. Not to mention the fact that we have volunteers that go and actually sit with people. We do a lot of care in assisted livings, and it is shocking to me how many people are in there and have nothing or no one. This Christmas, we had one approach us and said, we have 100 residents that haven't gotten a Christmas gift in years. And I said, oh, no, 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 no. So our staff got together, we did a Christmas drive, and the look on their faces on Christmas morning that somebody gave them a gift, priceless. No price to put on it. There are a lot of people in this world. which hospice has helped me open my eyes to know that there are a lot of people alone and don't have anybody coming to see them or don't have anybody bringing a Christmas gift. I love to help things like that, and our volunteers help with that quite a bit. All these things help you heal, to go through similar situations that you see others going through. I feel like I'm really helping patients and families talk through their fears, help them wipe away their tears, and just help. And when you help others, you help heal yourself. And once again, you have a connection. Connection is everything. I often ask myself about COVID. Remember COVID? Everybody remembers COVID. What did we do? We shut down. And as hospice, we were like one of the few people that got to see people. And this thing of letting families see each other through a glass, there was something just very eerie and terrible about it. And I asked myself, did COVID kill them, or was it isolation? Because I think isolation has a horrible effect on people. It causes depression, it causes loneliness. Oprah's magazine last month was all about connection and talked a lot about isolation, how it leads to early death. So I still ask myself that question, and I hope we never, ever have to go through something like that again. I don't know, it's what's the answer to living a full life when you have faced some type of loss? And loss can come in a lot of ways. Maybe you were tired. Maybe you're an empty nester. Or maybe you lost a loved one. But I don't know, when you have a loss, it leaves a hole. And you have to find something to help that hole. And that's where volunteering comes in. I know as a caregiver for my father and my late sister who had MS, I was one of their caregivers. And when they were gone, I felt that hole. So working with hospice, working with the MS Society, all those things help fill some of that hole. Because if you're a caregiver, that doesn't just go away. That's innate in you. It's what you do every day. It might be hard some days, but it's still one of your purposes. So I think volunteering is a beautiful way to get connected with people and fill in isolation. All of you can pick a passion and do some sort of volunteering. There's music in everybody. Everybody has a song to sing. It's in there. And you want to sing your song for as long as you can. You have a gift, each of you, that needs to be given. And your gift is needed in so many different ways. And your gift will cut down on isolation and feelings of loneliness or loss, whatever that loss is coming from. After my dad lost my mom, which I believe was one of the worst things I ever had to watch in my life, he was completely lost. They'd been married 53 years. He was lucky because this smart man in church took him by the hand and took him over to a hospital and said, Richard, you're going to volunteer. And he volunteered 5 days a week for 10 years. He volunteered until, because his job was rolling people out of the hospital. So he volunteered until dementia kicked in and he couldn't remember where he was going. But he loved it. I saw him start to change. I would sneak over and just look in to see what he was doing because I wanted to know. And he was a cute fella, and there were a lot of female volunteers at the hospital who would bring him cookies, pies, donuts in the morning, and all of a sudden he went, woo! But he was happier, and he had a purpose, and I was so grateful for those years that he had. And he made a lot of friends, and he started changing. It was really good to watch. So I want to thank each of you, beautiful people, and whatever you may be going through, because everybody's going through something, it can be cured or helped a lot through volunteering. And volunteering will help you connect. The most important thing in life is are the people that we love and share with, activities with. And you want to have as many as you can. I just think we can't do enough for the people that we love or the people that we're going to love. And there's going to be people out there that you learn to love through volunteer activities. Like I said, we have some great ones, and I'm always looking for them. And it helps you to, make a connection with people. So find your passion, find your song, find your purpose. Volunteering is great. And by the way, we're always looking for volunteers. We have a number of people that have no one, and it would be nice to have someone just come by and visit them in their last days. I know I lost a good friend to cancer, and I joined Massey Cancer Center, and I learned a lot. I became a volunteer there, and it helped fill that hole, because there's a hole when you lose something, for sure, and we can fix it through volunteering. So I just feel like everybody has got their song. I hope I'll leave you today thinking about singing that song somewhere. And there are lots and lots of places you can sing it. And if you don't have any place, we'd love you to stop by our hospice, because we will find something for you to do. Thank you so much for having me today. And again, congratulations. You're beautiful people and you rock. Thank you.
Thank you, Debbie. Wow, what personal insights and experience that you shared with us today. So grateful. Now, we are ready to recognize our county's amazing volunteers. I'd like to introduce Ann Williford with VCU Gerontology. Ann has been supporting the Senior Volunteer Hall of Fame since 2018. Dr. Williford.
I just keep inviting myself back, frankly, because I love this event. So today, I want to thank you, Rachel, and thank you, everyone, for this lovely opportunity to be here. And thank you all for attending today's event. We appreciate that you've joined in this celebration of Chesterfield County's senior volunteers. And so today, Alexa Vanertrick and I are going to recognize all the volunteers who are our nominees. So to begin, we have Mary Ellen Coderoni. And Mary Ellen is a hospice patient volunteer who visits patients with terminal conditions in their last months of life. Mary Ellen helps patients create memory moments by sharing their stories and providing joy in their lives. She is kind and attentive and makes sure that patients know that they have a trusted friend during this most vulnerable time. Being comfortable around people at the end of life is something that not everyone possesses. Even members of the person's own family sometimes. Mary Ellen is more than comfortable around individuals who are dying and understands that she is in a sacred space with a patient during their end of life. She helps them remember that they are human beings, that they are an individual, and that they are much more than their medical diagnosis. She specifically sees people in Chesterfield County in residential facilities and also shares time and her compassion not only with hospice patients but also with other residents in facilities. Unfortunately, Mary Ellen and her nominator are not here today to join us, but we recognize her in her absence. Next, we have Ann Danzy. As an office volunteer for the Lifelong Learning Institute in Chesterfield, Anne serves members, instructors, and community by being the first welcome that people see when they enter the building during her weekly shift on Tuesday afternoons. Anne supports the front desk and works on special projects with a smile on her face and also beautiful colors. Outside of LLI, Anne serves as chair on the Marine Commission and has served as treasurer, vice president, and president for the commission to renew enterprise, and was involved in creating a walking trail in Mount Holly, North Carolina. Anne serves with her church through her role as a lector in the team that feeds the homeless. Also, through a program of conversations with first-year medical students with VCU's Department of Gerontology, it's called Senior Mentoring, and encourages students to enhance respect for older adults and appreciation that aging is an individual process to be celebrated. Next, we have Calvin Duncan. Calvin Duncan is the pastor of Faith and Family Church and a male empowerment worship leader. He hosts Fitness Warriors every Thursday at church, and he volunteers at Old 100 Athletic Association to instruct youth on basketball fundamentals. Pastor Duncan also meets with community leaders such as Richmond City Police Chief Edwards to work on ways to address gun violence in our communities. Pastor Duncan additionally provides men's fellowship groups every Wednesday at church and was honored to do the invocation for a Virginia governor inauguration. In the words of Pastor Duncan's nominator, Pastor Duncan does so much for the church and his community. Pastor Duncan's nominator, Celeste Walters, is accepting his certificate on his behalf.
Next, we have Xiomara Franjul. Xiomara volunteered with Latinos in Virginia Empowerment Center to work with clients with complex needs and ensure they have food distribution information and other vital services. She prepared information packages to be sent to support providers for Spanish-speaking survivors of domestic violence and sexual violence providers across Virginia to assist Spanish survivors. Without Xiomara, we wouldn't be able to package food boxes for our last food distribution and resource fair aimed at Hispanic communities of Chesterfield County. Franco Gulen is here to accept the nomination on Xiomara's behalf. Next, we have Melanie Green. Melanie Green has volunteered with Telebridges, a call program that matches participants and volunteers one-on-one. Melanie has been a long-term volunteer for her current client, who was a former volunteer in the program and is now in her mid-90s. Melanie goes above and beyond in learning about her clients' needs and creatively and compassionately addressing those concerns. She goes to the library to take out material that would be of interest to the participant and has developed a strong friendship that serves to expand the client's circle of friends. She has even spent countless hours analyzing numerous pieces of music, film, and books that they have listened to together. Melanie's participation in the Telebridges program reinforces her commitment to being a part of the solution in the effort to combat social isolation. Next, we have Michael Harrison. Dr. Harrison, who is lovingly nicknamed Dr. Mike, is a retired veterinarian, a volunteer of the Chesterfield Food Bank Outreach Center. He devotes 25 hours each week to assisting food bank staff in various areas of the warehouse, as well as assisting during their distribution days. Dr. Mike exemplifies the Chesterfield Food Bank's vision of building authentic relationships through the love of God with our community. He serves as a mentor to the youth staff and volunteers, and through his infectious enthusiasm for the work that he does, inspires them to volunteer more. Outside of the Chesterfield Food Bank Outreach Center, he spends every Tuesday with individuals at a nursing community, being a compassionate ear for those he watches over. Dr. Mike's positive attitude and willingness to go above and beyond has had a significant impact on our community. Michael Harrison's nominator, Jennifer Spraggins, will be accepting Michael's certificate on his behalf.
Pat Hupp. Yeah, it is a celebration. Okay, for the past 30 years, Pat Hupp has been the heartbeat and most dedicated volunteer of Bensley Recreation Center. Pat easily has acquired over 10,000 volunteer hours working countless community events. Such events include, and I have to take a deep breath before I read all of these, Veterans Day programs, National Night Out, Christmas, Easter, Halloween, 4th of July, senior luncheons throughout the year, and much, much more. She has been involved in setup and cleanup events, assisting seniors with transportation, raising donations for local charities, and always has a soft spot in her heart to help children in any way that she can. Over the years, Pat has donated decorations and supplies to the community building and will jump right in with no hesitation to help anyone in need. Next, we have Kay Kirchner. Kay has been a superstar as a volunteer with the Chesterfield County Telephone Reassurance Program. She has greatly impacted the lives of 75 seniors in Chesterfield since 2016, when her time with the program began. Due to the impact of the pandemic, Kay's volunteer hours increased from 30 hours a month to 50 hours from March 2020 through June 2021. Her calls were a lifeline to those that she talked to, and she talked about great food and exchange of recipes and hopes for the future and anything that would make them smile. Her goal was to ensure the seniors were mentally well through the difficult times due to increased fear, anxiety, loss, and of course, social isolation. She has been known to go and knock on individuals' doors when she hasn't spoken to them in several weeks. Kay has shown to be a guardian angel to many of the participants. Aaron Lewis. Aaron Lewis hosts impromptu jam sessions on the ukulele. I'm sorry you didn't bring your ukulele with you. These are titled ukulele jams. Aaron has a background as a performer and comes with a wealth of musical knowledge. Aaron has been essential to the ukulele program with Parks and Recreation, which he has been doing for many years. He plans, organizes, and facilitates these jam sessions for free. He spends countless hours gathering music and making copies so that each participant has the materials that they need for the fun experience. Participants enjoy his enthusiasm, professionalism, and spirit.
Next, we have Victoria McCormick. Victoria is the lead coordinator for the Mercy Mall Cases of Hope program, which has truly flourished under her dedication and attention to detail. Under Victoria's direction, the Cases of Hope program serves 436 individuals in 2023 alone. She has established strong relationships with our contacts at the correctional facilities. She has ensured that the new team members are sufficiently trained, and she has an expert understanding of inventory needs. Victoria has also become a cheerleader for this program by providing tours to those in the community who are interested in learning more and partnering. Victoria's leadership at Mercy Mall extends beyond her role as a coordinator, and she has assumed countless other impactful roles. She has shown true dedication through her leadership, teamwork, and community service. Lucy Rodriguez. Lucy is a key team player supporting the customer relations team for the Chesterfield Colonial Heights Department of Social Services and has been for nearly a decade. Lucy provides an extensive amount of knowledge about their benefits program to social services customers and staff. Even on their busiest days, Lucy gracefully manages the lobby traffic, stays calm, and provides excellent customer service to those she is meeting at a potentially very tough time in their life. Her passion to serve is evident daily. She has shown exemplary dedication to the residents of Chesterfield County and the city of Colonial Heights. Mr. Benjamin A. Thorpe. Benjamin volunteers his time to serve on multiple boards, including the treasurer of Meadowbrook Estates Civic Association and the Mecca Board, which includes an annual spring cleanup. He has served on the board of directors for the Science Museum of Virginia Foundation, Mathematics and Science Center, and the Chesterfield Neighborhood Watch Council. He continues to invest in society through environmental business activities. Ben continues to serve on numerous boards and community committees which contribute greatly to our Chesterfield County community. Let's give all of our nominees another round of applause. It is now the moment you've been waiting for. We are ready to introduce our 3 inductees to the 2024 Chesterfield County Senior Volunteer Hall of Fame. When your name is called, please join us at the center stage to receive your induction certificate and your special Senior Volunteer Hall of Fame pin. I would also like to invite the Honorable Jessica Schneider, Jim Engel, and Mark Miller to the stage to present the induction certificates. We would also like the nominator to join us on stage when the inductee's name is called to do the honor of presenting the pin. Representing the Clover Hill Magisterial District, nominated by Rachel Ramirez and Danzy, you are now inducted into the Chesterfield County Senior Volunteer Hall of Fame. Yay! Congratulations, Anne. Representing the Bermuda Magisterial District, nominated by Kathleen Sheehan with Chesterfield County Parks and Recreation, Pat Hupp, you are now inducted into the Chesterfield County Senior Volunteer Hall of Fame. Genius, Susan. Oh. Congratulations, Pat. Representing the Matoaka Magisterial District, nominated by Stacy Jones, Victoria McCormick, you are now inducted into the Chesterfield County Senior Volunteer Hall of Fame. Oh. Congratulations, Victoria. Can we give another round of applause for all three of our inductees? All three of our inductees will also receive a resolution from the Board of Supervisors at their regular June meeting on Wednesday, June 26th at 6 p.m. And now we turn to Dr. Ann Welliford for her closing remarks. Dr. Welliford.
That still makes me laugh when people aren't paying tuition, that they call me Dr. Welliford. Hi. The individuals that we recognize here today have all answered the call to let their lives speak through service to community. A calling or a vocation is the intersection between one's deep gladness and the deep need of community. Each inspiring nominee represents a life of significance. And for me, that is so inspiring, and I know that it's inspiring for everyone in this room. It's why I keep inviting myself to this event. Bill Thomas, who is an esteemed geriatrician, speaks of elderhood as the anticipated stage of later life beyond adulthood, with roles that only elders can play. And today's nominees represent all of the examples of these roles. Dr. Thomas says that elders are legacy creators. Through the journey of discovery, many elders create and share legacies, the impacts of which will extend long beyond our physical lives. He says that elders are wisdom givers. Wisdom is often shared through storytelling and sometimes through being a mirror for others. And he says that elders are peacemakers. Elders are often more able to see both sides of a situation, a valuable peacemaking skill in any situation. These are roles that only elders can hold. In honor of our honorees, the vocations of elderhood, and your service to our community, a peace lily was provided by Encompass Realty, and these are on the table. These are your gifts to take with you to remember this day and the effort that you have contributed to your community. Because it's not just about what you do, it's about who you are. And thank you for that.
Thank you, Dr. Welliford. And to all our speakers today, wow, my heart is full. Thank you to all of our nominees and inductees for your amazing contributions to our Chesterfield County community. Thank you to our nominators, community leaders, family, and friends who joined us today as we celebrated and will continue to celebrate our wonderful Chesterfield senior volunteers. On behalf of our entire committee, we'd like to recognize several individuals who made this event possible. First, our committee members. Please stand if you are here. Mary Ann Bailey, Susan Campbell, Bernadette Gilmore, Kim Graves, Mary Catterfield, Rachel Ramirez, Craig Ross, Alexa Van Artrick, and Dr. Ann Welford. Our selection panel completed their very difficult job with the inductee selection process. We are so grateful for your time. Please stand if you're here. Kelly Booth, Kim Evans, Dolores Jordan, Beth Jorgensen, and Gloria Myers. We also appreciate all the support we received from the Chesterfield County Board of Supervisors, the Chesterfield Council on Aging, the Chesterfield County Department of Constituents and Media Services, the Chesterfield County Office of Aging and Disability Resources, and all the nominating citizens and organizations. Donations for today were provided by St. Matthias Episcopal Church, Encompass Realty, LLC, and Petals and Bows Florist. Thank you all. Once again, thank you for joining us today to recognize these amazing volunteers who truly make our Chesterfield County community and the world a better place. We would like all of the nominees, the inductees, and their nominators to stay right here in the center for further direction for a group photo. And it's almost time to hug, congratulate, handshake, and high five with some delicious cake. And you're all invited and encouraged to join us right here in this room for the reception. I'd like to challenge you to start thinking now about who you could nominate next year for the Senior Volunteer Hall of Fame. Anyone who has had their 60th birthday, lives in Chesterfield, and spends time volunteering is eligible. Thank you so much for attending today, and we look forward to another wonderful celebration next year.